This isn't about the one who has the greatest accumulation of wealth. That is not the sole indicator of abundance. Abundance is a mindset, it's a mentality. Even if you have a little, you can have an abundant mentality. Hey folks, this is Colin Richards, president and founder of Lord & Richards, and once again, I'm excited to be with you here on Lord & Richards Radio. And today I'm going to be talking about a subject near and dear to my heart. And it really is a subject around mindset and your success, particularly as it relates to finance. And I've been taught, and I've experienced personally that there are two opposing mindsets. And if you adopt one of these two mindsets, it's a recipe for future success. And if you adopt the other, it is a recipe for failure. And by success and failure, I'm not necessarily saying the old rule of he who dies with the most gold wins, the golden rule as they call it. But I'm talking about success in the things that matter to you. Success in life, success in family, success in your personal and financial dreams and goals and values. And the two mindsets are, first of all, the abundance mindset, the mindset that leads to success, and then the other mindset is the scarcity mindset. You say, well, Colin, what are you talking about? Well, these terms are not unique to me. Great business coaches, men like Dan Sullivan and others have promoted this concept for many, many years and we found that in business, it really can make the difference between success and failure. It can make the difference between long-term growth and opportunity versus merely pursuing the short term and ultimately hindering your long-term personal and financial goals. So when I talk about this to my clients, I want to dial this into your lifestyle because not all of you are business owners. As a matter of fact, the majority of you have either been working or are working in a career and have been employed by someone else. But these principles apply no matter where you are, whether you're still working, whether you're in the retirement phase of life, whether you're accumulating for your future, or you're in the process of distributing it out so you can live on it. So what do I mean? Well, I want to start in these three segments with the concept of thrifty or cheap. Because when we're talking about scarcity, I want to understand what we mean by that. The image that it should conjure up to you is the kind of the old hunter-gatherer mindset, right? Where people are trying to do subsistence living. They're living what we call hand-to-mouth. And so scarcity is the situation in which they find themselves. And often that leads to conflict, right? Limited resources, less than the greater need of the population results in conflict. And we see this in war-torn areas, poverty-stricken areas. We see this in areas of our world that are just destitute or where people have scraped together everything for themselves and left nothing for others. And so often the environment itself can promote this, maybe the way in which we were taught growing up or the environment we found ourselves in. But cheapness goes along with the idea of scarcity. Thrifty is a virtue, right? It's a virtue, frugality, being really good at taking the dollars that you have and the possessions that you have and stretching them, making them go a long way. Absolutely a virtue to be able to do more with the things that you have. Being cheap, however, is not the same as being thrifty or frugal. Being cheap means that we literally don't want to use or deploy the resources. Often this comes out of a motivation of fear because we say, well, I might run out. That's the scarcity mindset. Oh, I'm going to run out. I'm going to run out. And what happens, as long as we have that fear of running out in the back of our minds, then we will tilt towards cheapness. We will tilt towards scarcity in our approach to money. Often even it bleeds over into our time, how we spend time with others. The mindset tends to be, because resources are limited, I am going to limit how much I do for others. And this can also affect yourself. You can begin to, in essence, punish yourself and treat yourself as if you are less than or unworthy of enjoying abundance. Often this can be a limiting belief that keeps you from being able to move forward and achieve great goals. And over time, we settle and we give up and we retreat. And again, this isn't about the one who has the greatest accumulation of wealth. That is not the sole indicator of abundance. Abundance is a mindset. It's a mentality. Even if you have a little, you can have an abundant mentality. The Lord Jesus in the Bible even gave us an example of this. Because you see, the rulers, the Pharisees, the religious elite loved to dump into the temple treasury, which kind of came in through a metal kind of funnel, just bunches of coins, and people would turn and admire how much they gave. But it really, the Lord Jesus identifies there, was out of their abundance, they gave a little bit, but it seemed like a lot. And then the widow comes along, and she gives of all that she has, a single mite, a penny, as we might say. And he says she, out of her poverty, has given more than all of these combined. So you see, abundance isn't about a dollar amount. It is about a mindset. It is about moving from the concept of the good virtues of frugality, the good virtues of being thrifty, of being able to make things stretch. You know, my wife, when we were first married, she just really enjoyed making clothes. And you talk about thriftiness, you make your own clothes. And she made great stuff, designer dresses and things like that. She wasn't making sacks for our kids, our daughters to be in. Over time, that's been less and less practical, right? As our kids get older, their fashion and their tastes change over time. But I appreciated that thrifty mindset, especially when we were young and we had fewer resources. But on the other hand, my wife was quick to give away. You know, many people, because they're operating from the cheap or the scarcity mindset, are slow to give away because they're worried, right, that they're going to run out of what they need to meet their needs. So let me help you with this. It's a mindset, but it's hard to change. It really is hard to change. And I see this all the time as I sit down with my retirement clients, people who are either planning for or they're already in retirement. And they say, you know, I've just always kind of compressed and made do with a little. And I'm not used to drawing out of my accounts and living on them now, which, by the way, is essential if you're going to be retired and stop working, if that's one of your goals. We call it being financially independent at Lord & Richards because many of our clients still enjoy working, but we don't want you to have to do it because you need the money. We want you to do it because you love it when you reach that stage in life. So let me help you. At Lord & Richards, we're going to help you develop that mindset of abundance, not to waste. That's the polar opposite of abundance. But abundance is a mindset shift where we say, you know what, I've been blessed. I'm gonna allow myself to be blessed by God with the resources He's given me, and I'm gonna encourage blessing others through those same resources. We can teach you how to do that, not just with a mindset shift, but we can actually help you develop a financial plan, a financial independence roadmap, we call it, that will free you up mentally and emotionally to live that life of abundance. It simply starts with a phone call.